You have seen periodic table, of course. You know we have names for different elements. Some of these names and symbols, they agree together. For example, aluminum has a symbol of Al. Barium has a symbol of Ba. But copper, the symbol is Cu. Tungsten, the symbol does not resemble the name of this element. Neither tin. Tin is not Ti, it's SN. Sodium is not SO, it's Na. Why? Because some of these names are coming from Latin or Greek. Some of them are coming by naming them after people or naming them after a mythology. So you don't have to memorize. Do you remember I never asked you to memorize things like that? I give you this table. I give you the name and symbol on the exam. You learn by repetition. So you know what elements are. They are composed of the same type of atom. They are the simplest form of matter. How about compounds? Is water a compound? Why is water a compound? It's not made out of one type of atoms. It's made out of two different elements, made out of two different atoms. So water is a compound. And do you see the ratio between hydrogen and oxygen? Do you notice that the ratio is 2 to 1? So in compounds, there is a fixed ratio between number of atoms. If you change the ratio between number of atoms, for example, if I give you H2O2, H2O2, the ratio is 1 to 1. There is 2 hydrogen for 2 oxygen, or the ratio is 1 to 1, 1 hydrogen per oxygen. This is not going to taste like water. It does not quench your taste. I mean, let me correct myself. It does not quench your thirst. You change the ratio, property changes. This can blonde your hair. This can be used as disinfectant, but it's not water. It doesn't have the properties of water. So when we say water, water is H2O, doesn't matter where you go in universe. Water has the same formula. The formula doesn't change. The ratio between number of atoms do not change in a compound. Let me clean my board. So can we separate components in a compound? Yes. Is it possible to convert water, is it possible to break down water to hydrogen and oxygen? In order to balance, I need 2 moles. Yes, it is. What do? You do electrolysis. What is electrolysis? You pass electricity through water. You must have an electrolyte, which causes conduction of electricity. Then you can break components of water to hydrogen and oxygen. So you can break down components of a compound. You need energy to do that. So example of compounds. Water composed of combination of two different elements with a fixed ratio. Example of another compound, glucose. It's composed of three elements. The ratio is fixed. Ammonia is a compound. It's composed of nitrogen and hydrogen. The ratio must be 1 to 3 to behave like ammonia. You know, ammonia is a general cleaning agent. That's what you use when you're using glass cleaner. So ammonia must have a formula of an H3. Otherwise, it's not going to behave like ammonia. That's something else. So this is showing electrolysis. You're using a battery. You're connecting the electricity. And one of these, let's say, negative terminal and positive terminal, hydrogen is going to go to negative terminal, and it's going to be, well, no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the negative terminal. This is oxygen. So this must be positive terminal, and this must be negative terminal. A negative terminal H plus, which is in water, is going to come here, gain electron, make atomic hydrogen. Atomic hydrogens are reacting together to make H2. Do you see, if you look at the volume, of hydrogen. Look at the volume of oxygen. Do you see the volume of hydrogen is 2 times larger than volume on oxygen? Is it telling you the amount of the atoms of hydrogen is 2 times larger than oxygen? So yes, we can break down a compound to its composing elements. What do we need? We have to use energy. Why do we have to use energy? Because when compounds formed, they release energy, they lost energy. You want to break them down back to their original elements, you have to use energy. Why do elements react together to make compound? Because they are more stable in their compound form. So when you reacted oxygen and hydrogen together, there was a big explosion, there was a lot of heat release, water was formed. Does it make sense? If I want to break down water to hydrogen and oxygen, I must use energy because I'm reversing the process of formation of water, which is energy releasing. If I'm reversing an energy releasing reaction, the reaction is going to be energy absorbing. I provide the energy. In this case, energy is coming from this battery. Electricity is causing electrolysis of water. Water made from hydrogen and oxygen is breaking down to hydrogen and oxygen. So guys, can I now say that matter could either be pure or mixture? If it is pure, it could be only element like copper wire. Or it could be pure water, which means it's chemical compound. So pure substances can be element or compounds. For matters which are mixture, you can have heterogeneous mixture, just like mayonnaise, just like mixture of oil and vinegar. just like mixture of gasoline and water. They're heterogeneous. They have two different phases. The concentration along the mixture is not the same. Or they could be homogeneous like milk, homogeneous like water. That means you have same concentration. You have one phase.